a therapist and virtual reality designer, a clinical psychologist at USC named Skip Rizzo, was looking at what was going on in the very beginning of the war and getting really worried that this was not going to be a very quick conflict and that people were going to come out of there with the same kinds of trauma that had come out of Vietnam. They had developed originally as a training tool for the military something that became a video game called Full Spectrum Warrior. So Skip Rizzo was looking at Full Spectrum Warrior, the game, and he said, oh my goodness, we'll just take this and we'll retool it and we'll make it into a virtual reality therapy program for soldiers coming back from Iraq. The objective of virtual reality therapy is to get better. It's not, say, to wipe out your enemy or to seek revenge. It's not a game. And the soldier, the patient, isn't in control. All the variables are controlled by the therapist. You stand on a platform which has a base shaker underneath it. And when the therapist sets off an explosion, you're standing there and it comes right up through your body from your feet and your whole body shakes. And then you've got a set of goggles over your eyes. Everything else is blocked out. As you turn your head, your orientation changes exactly as it would if you were walking down the street or as if you were turning your head. And then you have a pair of earphones on as well. So you're hearing it, you're feeling it, you're seeing it. The other thing that the therapist can do is introduce smells. So one of the common smells was diesel fuel, and the therapist can put all of that in the room with you. Before they ever get to the machinery, the therapist asks the soldier to tell his or her story over and over and over again in order to get the details. And because of that, the therapist is able to program in that story. Driving along on a highway in a Humvee. Let's say you're the driver, you're driving along the road, someone is standing on an overpass and shoots at you, your windshield gets completely cracked and full of bullet holes, the guy next to you gets shot, he slumps over, there's a kid running across the street, you don't know whether he's about to throw a bomb at you, there's trash blowing along the side, you're not sure what that is, then all of a sudden a car blows up on the other side of the road. It's very intense, and on some level it's realistic, on another level it's cartoonish, but the feeling is real. You've suffered a trauma, so in your everyday life, other things trigger that memory. It might be someone putting their hand in their pocket, because someone putting their hand in their pocket could be going to get a gun, or it could be large crowds that would trigger a memory because you're worried that someone's going to come out from that large crowd and do something pretty awful. And so it makes it really hard to live your life because you're always edgy and jumpy. Some people have insomnia. They're extremely depressed. A lot of people medicate themselves by drinking, by taking drugs, and basically checking out. Immersion therapy or prolonged exposure therapy was developed based on the work of Pavlov and his dogs to try to get people to disassociate their trauma with their current everyday life. At some point we say, yeah, okay, that happened to me. All right, I'm a little bored with it now. It doesn't mean that you've forgotten that this awful thing has happened to you, but it means that you can live with it. Some people have come at it and said, well, wait a minute, you're asking someone to relive their trauma not just once or twice, but over and over and over again. That's horrible. How could you do that to them? And the therapists who do it say, look, it's a little bit like pulling the bandage off really fast. It hurts, and then it's over.